Hello everyone, I'm your boy Ben Boy, and welcome to what episode is this?
What, 5?
5 or 4? I don't remember. Let's look. Starting this.
It is, and a number.
It is N number. We're starting this one off fucking great. This is 4.
Oh yeah.
This is episode 4.
I like how I already forgot which number we're on.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. When you do this every week, it's kind of hard sometimes to keep track of it, not gonna lie. Anyways, welcome to episode 4. And today, in this lovely podcast, we're gonna start it off with something unrelated to it, but then eventually we'll get into. I have 4 topics. The only one is not related to gaming, but the rest of them are gaming topics. So. Hell yeah.
Oh boy. Sounds like a straightforward good time.
Hell yeah. Why did the date get erased on you? The date go? When was the last one recorded?
Oh, we're having some technical difficulties.
Whatever, I'll fix that later. Anyway, this is being recorded today, right? So it's 7/12.
No, Ben, we're recording it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. Anyway. So, I have, again, 4 topics, 3 topics related to gaming. So let's just jump into it, like fucking, what's his says.
I don't fucking know.
I forget his name. Why am I forgetting his name? Philip DeFranco, that's his name. Alright. So this first one, I thought it was interesting because I saw the video, or at least I watched like a little over half of it before I got bored. But because the video itself isn't that interesting, it's basically the principle behind the video. Apparently, Mr. Beast on YouTube, set the unofficial world record, and by unofficial I mean it probably is the world record, but like it wasn't like recognized by Guinness or any of that shit, you know.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, it's not documented other than his video. He has the world record for the longest Uber ride.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You wanna know how long in miles the Uber ride was?
I want you to tell me how long it was in minutes.
I don't know how long it was in minutes. I can figure that out real quick, though. Miles to hours. Here you go, miles per hour.
Depends on the speed you're traveling, Ben.
Distance, I don't fucking know. This is just a rough estimate.
Welcome to the BnB podcast, where the first thing Brett does is make Ben do math.
Calculate miles per hour. Oh, it's not actually giving me. All right, whatever. Whatever. I don't feel like figuring it out, but fucking.
I don't feel like doing math.
I don't feel like doing math. I failed it in school.
We know.
So, apparently, again, he holds the world record for the longest Uber ride. It was 2,256 miles.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna read the article.
How much did that cost him?
We will find out here in a second. It sounds like insanity, but one courageous Uber driver agreed to drive YouTube celebrity Mr. Beast. He's known to do other outrageous things, to hand out $10,000 tip to pizza delivery guys. Once they agreed to do the trip, Mr. Beast's whole crew jumped into the caravan for a ride from North Carolina to California.
Okay.
They went from his home in North Carolina all the way to Los Angeles. a 2,256 mile distance. The driver was cool and calm throughout the trip. The driver's name is Anthony, as shown on Mr. Beast's Uber request screen. Late in the ride, Anthony tells that he's a commercial truck driver. That's why this isn't a big deal for him. I was a little dumbfounded to learn what was the total cost of the Uber ride for 2,200 miles. Only $5,500 was how much it costed.
What?
Which, I mean, only is a very strong word in this sentence, but if you think about it, it's like... I mean, to go
Imagine
all
the gas bill.
Yeah, to go all the way across the United States, that's not that bad? By car, anyway? If you have like $8,000 to go on vacation, might as well just Uber it, brother.
Yeah, but that's $5,000 to go on vacation. But what are you gonna spend on the fucking vacation?
That's why I said $8,000. That way you still have like 2,000 something to spend on the vacation. Anyway, so it was $5,500 gross. Take out Uber's 25% commission, and the driver made out with $4,100. And by the way, he also tipped the driver another $5,500.
Well, from what you told me before, that's to be expected, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's well over that's well over $11,000, I think. 5,500 plus 5,500.
Effectively.
Yeah. So, fuck, dude. Imagine spending $11,000 on a fucking Uber ride. Imagine having $11,000 just in general.
Well, you see, that's one thing, but he has to have more.
Yeah, no. I also watched this is like related to the topic, but it's not part of the topic. I watched a highlight from H3H3's podcast where he was talking to fucking Mr. Beast about taxes. And apparently Mr. Beast's taxes are fucked because he needs to do tax on all these expenses. So, like, they were talking about, Mr. Beast was like, yeah, so when I have, like, a competition with my friends for a brand new, like, $30,000-$40,000 car, I'm gonna need to pay taxes on that car, or make them pay taxes on that car. And he's like, I can't make them do it because they don't have that kind of money. You know, it was a gift. You know, I'd look like a dickhead if I made them pay it. So, yeah. And you know what fucking Ethan said? Ethan was like, you need to get yourself a very smooth talking New York City Jewish lawyer.
Oh my god.
Or Jewish tax person to do your taxes.
I mean, everybody could do with one of those.
Yeah, right. That's just fucking ridiculous. $11,000 on a fucking Uber ride. Would you pay $11,000 on an Uber ride?
No, Ben, I wouldn't.
Alright.
I'd rather spend about $200 on a plane ticket.
Wait, is that actually what that would cost?
I mean, plane tickets really aren't that expensive.
What would a plane ticket from...
I'm probably overestimating on some airlines anyway.
Let's see what a plane ticket from... Sure, let's go to Kayak. Why not? Fuck it. No, not from... No, not from... If I can fucking type.
I'm kind of wondering how you're managing everything so far with your typing skills.
Well, you know, it's kind of annoying. Let's see here. LAX. Sure. Give me all. Give me all the searches. Why not? Okay, so apparently two of the cheapest are from whatever the fuck kiwi.com is. $502 to go from North Carolina to...
Even so, like, why would you spend
While you're
$5,000?
I'm sorry, podcast. That probably scared the shit out of some of you. I had a fucking ad pop up and somebody started talking and I'm just like, and I had to mute it.
Oh no.
Shit. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yeah, $500 for a plane ticket as opposed to 11 grand. Or $1,100. No, not 1,100, 11 grand. Jesus. All right. So the next...
I'd rather spend 10%.
Yeah, right? Dude, fuck. Alright, so the next topic, I doubt you'll care about it necessarily, but basically, first gaming topic, well, actually, I guess the third one really isn't gaming, but it's about YouTube. Technically, we have two gaming topics, and then a related topic, related to gaming, because let's be honest, most people use YouTube to post gaming videos. There are other videos out there, it's just I don't think that any community on YouTube is as big as the fucking gaming community on YouTube. But anyway, I kind of view YouTube as just a gaming-dominated platform, kind of like Twitch. Like, Twitch is made for gaming as well. Not a lot of people IRL stream on Twitch. I acknowledge that other communities exist, obviously, but, like, fucking... It's primarily gaming. I think we can all agree on that for the most part. So... This is what we know so far about the new Call of Duty. Because... a lot of people have been throwing around conflicting news and being very confusing about this, at least personally to me. So I decided that I would go to a GameSpot article and try to learn more. I actually didn't even read this article yet. I read like the first paragraph and I was like, yeah, this seems legit enough. BnB podcast isn't like the top tier of professionality, so we're good. We try to keep it professional, but goddamn, it is not top tier. I think you can agree with that. Brett?
What?
I think you can agree that the BnB podcast is not top tier of professionality.
Oh, I beg to differ, Ben. We are the best of the best. There is nobody better,
Wait,
and
what
there
the
never
fuck?
will be.
I don't give a fuck about Nintendo Switch Lite. Take me back to my other article, motherfucker. There we go. Alright, anyway. Switch articles on me. Dick cheat. So, alright, so I'm gonna read most of this article. Maybe all of it. It's 4 paragraphs. Actually, no, it's way longer than that. Probably won't read all of it. Actually, this is really fucking long. Jesus Christ. Wow, okay. I'll probably read parts of it, but... So, these are the first 2 paragraphs, and this is, like, general information about the game. So, and by the way, this was written by Phil Hornshaw. I'm assuming he works for GameSpot. 12 years after the release of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward is returning to the game I'm assuming, he didn't have the word that, is returning to the game turned its franchise, the game that turned its franchise into a shooter-dominating juggernaut. This year's Call of Duty is, in fact, Modern Warfare, as the rumors suggested, but it's not a remake of the game that kicked off the trilogy in 2007, which, by the way, why would it be? We already got a remake of it. Here's everything we know about this year's game, which releases for PC, PS4, and Xbox One on October 25th. So, I'm very excited to see that Call of Duty is still keeping the 1 month prior trend, because they would always drop like early November, but now they're dropping it like mid to late October. So I like that. Just a few weeks, you know. Just a little bit less time we have to wait for it. 2019's Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a reimagining of the first game and brings with it some stark changes. Chief among them on the multiplayer front is the addition of crossplay, allowing play across PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and the absence of a season pass that unlocks new DLC maps to only a portion of the player base. So, they're adding crossplay and removing season passes and DLC packs, I'm assuming. We've also learned that zombies, typically a fixture of the Treyarch developed entries in the series, won't be included in Modern Warfare. And actually, I'm going to add a little counterpoint to that. I'm almost 100% sure that it was confirmed that Special Ops is making a return, which I'm fucking happy about. I fucking loved Special Ops in MW2 and 3. That shit was so much fun. Just grabbing a friend and just doing dumb shit in Special Ops is the greatest. Because they're like the campaign, but they're not as structured. They basically just take chunks of like campaign maps. And they're like, here, replay this, but with a completely new story tacked onto it and a new situation and everything, and it's really cool. Like, there was one in Modern Warfare 3 where in the campaign mission you were following, what's his name? Sandman in Paris, and you guys had on, like, the gas masks and shit, and you were, like, moving through, like, the chemically altered Paris trying to find, this one dude. I don't remember his relevance to the story. It's been a while since I played Modern Warfare 3's campaign. But then you go into Special Ops, and there's a map that is literally in the same exact location, but you're in fucking Juggernaut suits with, like, grenade launchers and shit, and you have to, like, tag enemy gas canisters for removal, because you're, like, cleaning up Paris from its chemicals. It was fucking cool.
Huh.
Like, they completely flipped it on its head and made a completely new story out of existing parts of the campaign. I loved that shit. So yeah, it's gonna have a single-player campaign. There are some returning elements, though. Oh, it's gonna be... it's basically a soft reboot of Modern Warfare, so they're gonna have a lot of the same missions as well as some new missions added on. They're gonna have like some of the old missions from the original Modern Warfare, but they're gonna be reimagined and changed, as well as there's gonna be new missions that they either cut from the original game that they want to add or brand new ones that pertain to the story as well. There are some returning elements, though. Captain Price is again a principal character in this new story, for instance. It seems as though this game will also concern Russian interactions with the Middle East, while enemies will include an ultranationalist group helping to execute terrorist attacks in major cities such as London. Apart from broad strokes, though, we don't know much more about the story. And I actually like that part where it says this game will also concern Russian interactions with the Middle East. Because in the original Call of Duty 4... there was a link between the Russians and the Middle Eastern group that you were fighting in the campaign, but it was never really expanded upon. All you really knew was that fucking the Russian dude's leader's name was Imran Zakayev, and the Arab guy's name was Al-Assad, and all you knew was that Al-Assad occasionally calls Zakayev for a booty call. That's basically all you knew. They both have disposable Nokia phones, and they call each other occasionally. That's it. That's literally all the explanation we got on their alliance in the original game. So, to find out that, you know, we're gonna explore that a little bit more is a lot better, in my opinion. So one of the big things that this new game wants to explore is realism. This game is very heavily focused on realism, not so much on the multiplayer. Multiplayer won't have like all the realism stuff in it because, you know, people want their casual shoot 'em up experience. But in the campaign, supposedly they're taking a really hardcore turn to realism Quote, the world we live in right now is more complex than the world was in 2007 or 2009 or even 2011, Kurosaki said during the presentation. Even now, the world that we live in, the battlefield is less defined than it's ever been. And because it's less defined, and because enemies no longer really wear uniforms a lot of the time, that means that civilian collateral damage is a greater part of the equation, more so now than it's ever been. So what does that mean? It means we're creating circumstances where, as storytellers, we're taking these characters and we are putting them into complex situations with a lot more pressure on them, and how they respond to that pressure reveals their true nature. The morally gray areas of fighting a war are what Infinity Ward is looking to explore with Modern Warfare, Kurosaki said, as well as how soldiers respond to them and where they draw the line separating what they are and aren't willing to do. The team is pulling influences from Hollywood films that tell similar war stories like The Hurt Locker, Lone Survivor, and American Sniper, and documentaries such as Last Men in Aleppo? I'm assuming that's what that is. Aleppo. But yeah, so they're exploring more gray areas, you know, getting more of a realistic undertone to the story. All that happy horse shit. I love
That
it. I love.
sounds interesting. That actually. Okay, Ben. That makes Call of Duty sound like something I actually want to play.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, and I hope that Call of Duty turns into a franchise where they explore, like, for the, because again, I don't understand why in the past people feel like because the way that the games were used to structured was that you had the campaign and then the multiplayer was just a casual shoot your friends version of the story mode, kind of. And then now they've shifted more towards multiplayer, so now the story modes seem like a story-driven linear version of the multiplayer. Why do they have to be very similar at all? I like this idea. Keep the multiplayer the dumb fun, just shoot everyone. But when you play campaign,
go fucking all out in campaign.
Exactly. Make the campaign feel like almost a completely brand new game than the multiplayer. I imagine that something like this would be what fucking Siege would do. Where, like, Siege, yeah, it's semi-realistic in its multiplayer, but if Siege ever had a campaign, I'd imagine they go full out, almost SWAT levels of fucking realism for fucking Siege's campaign. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the closest thing we get to campaign and Siege is fucking situations.
Situations, and then the occasional terrorist hunt map. Yeah, fuck's sake. I'm trying to scroll. Okay, here we go. This is the last thing that I want to bring up in terms of Modern Warfare, because this Call of Duty segment is taking up a lot of time, actually. I didn't want to talk about Call of Duty the whole time, but I just wanted to read this last part here. A technological upgrade. Bringing Modern Warfare into the modern era is more than an update for the game's story. The game features two major changes in the multiplayer side from previous games. First and foremost, the crossplay. Modern Warfare also does away with the traditional Call of Duty Season Pass, like I said. Infinity Ward has done a lot of work for the game on the technical side as well. Modern Warfare uses a, ready for this, new purpose-built engine specifically made for this game, which is significantly increasing its production values. Now, Call of Duty has advertised new engines before, like, oh, we have a brand new game engine. But the reason why they say we have a brand new game engine in the past is because they would build it off the old one every single time. They are saying, and from gameplay that I have yet to watch, but some of my coworkers at work and some of my friends have said they've watched it, the only gameplay that has been released so far on this game is some gameplay where Activision took some people. I don't remember if they were influencers or not. Influencers meaning streamers and YouTubers. Can't remember if they were influencers or not. They took some people, threw them in a tech demo of the game, or I guess a pre-release version, which has a new mode called Showdown, which is supposedly going to be part of the new version of the, In Modern Warfare 3, they had a mode where you could do 3v3s, 2v2s, and 1v1s. And supposedly this game's going to have a new updated version of that, and part of that is the 2v2 showdowns. And basically they let people do some 2v2 showdowns in a pre-build of the game, and the entire game supposedly is completely different. It plays differently, it looks different, it feels a bit different. The time to kill, meaning like how long it takes of you pumping lead into a dude before he dies, is incredibly short now, like it was in the older games rather than these new games like Black Ops 4 where it takes you literally half a mag to kill a guy. So, yeah, that's fucking great. So a brand new engine and everything. It seems amazing. Super stoked for it.
I can't wait for it to belly flop.
I really hope it doesn't. I hope that this... Oh boy. I'm not pre-ordering this one. Unless they give me, like, unless they have a beta, I'm not pre-ordering this one. Because I pre-ordered, I've pre-ordered none of the modern time, like, I mean, by modern, I mean none of the advanced future ones. Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinity, actually I lie, I did pre-order Infinite Warfare, but that's because I had to get Modern Warfare Remastered, but...
Yeah.
But I did...
They did that crap.
But I did pre-order World War II. I know a lot of people hated World War II, but I fucking loved it. I think that was a good game. But yeah, no, it was pretty interesting. I'm excited to see where they go with this, because this whole like realistic part is pretty fucking awesome. All right, the next topic. I don't think this one is very long, which is why I put it right after. I mean, the article is long, but I don't think this one's very long, which is why it won't take very long to talk about, because that's why I put it after the COD one, because I knew the COD one would take a while. So, this is a PC Gamer article by Wes Fenlon. Wes Fenlon.
Just butcher it, come on.
3 days ago. He made this 3 days ago. The headline is, YouTube is making it easier for creators to deal with copyright claims. This next thing that I'm about to say isn't part of the title, but I'm going to tack on there, supposedly. Because they've tried this shit in the past and it never worked. But this is really good though. But this sounds good. Manual content ID claims now will have to specify exactly what part of a video is infringing, and there are better tools for fixing them. Videos on YouTube are often flagged for copyright infringement under the Content ID system, which automatically references a giant database of audio and video files and looks for copies. But in addition to those automatic matches, copyright holders could also make manual claims against videos through Content ID, forcing videos offline or running ads on them for their own monetization. The kicker is those claims haven't even had to specify what exactly in the video was infringing until now. Quote, starting today, we will require copyright owners to provide timestamps to indicate exactly where their content appears in videos they manually claim, and we're improving our video editing tools in Creator Studio to make it easier for creators to remove the content based with these claims, rates YouTube on its creators blog. Another problem with the old manual claiming system is that claims couldn't automatically be released. That means that even if the creators identified the supposedly infringing material, like a song or a certain portion of the video, and removed it, it would still be marked as infringing until someone manually cleared it. YouTube's Creator Studio page will now show timestamps for the supposedly infringing material and offer some built-in tools for dealing with it without having to upload an entirely new video. It'll be easy to mute the section of the video, cut it out altogether, or replace the audio with a song from the royalty-free YouTube audio library.
Huh. Interesting. That actually sounds like it could work.
Yeah, it sounds really good, and I'm not gonna read exactly what this next one says, but basically it continues on to say that this obviously won't stop like false claims on videos. Like, people will still falsely claim videos, and there's no real repercussions for false claiming yet. But if you do,
give it time.
But if you do false claim, and the section that is indicated that his content ID'd isn't, then it'll just be instantly washed away. After the YouTuber who gets the claim reviews it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just a lot easier for YouTubers to deal with this kind of shit. So Brett, we're on the last one.
Yes.
I saw this and I immediately picked it because this tailors more to you.
Oh boy.
And I wanted to read this article because I'm not exactly sure how Amazon makes video games, but here we go. Amazon is developing a Lord of the Rings MMO.
Oh no, an MMO?
Yeah. The game is unrelated to Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings TV show, though.
Uh-huh.
Amazon Game Studios, which I'm going to pause the article right here and say I didn't even know that fucking existed. I didn't even know that Amazon made their own video games.
I honestly didn't know that either.
Amazon Game Studios has announced its latest project, a Lord of the Rings massively multiplayer online game that Amazon is developing in partnership with Leyou. Who's Leyou? Let me look real quick. Leyou is a global video game holding company focused on free-to-play console and PC gaming. Leyou, which originally operated as a chicken supplier, what the fuck, now has 3 holdings: Digital Extremes, Splash Damage, both developers, and Antholon Games, publisher. Oh shit! Leyou became part owner of Canadian developer Digital Extremes, the developer and publisher of Warframe. Oh shit. Okay. So there you go. You have something to kind of, not necessarily compare it to, but just a reference as to what these people had a hand in. It's planned as a free-to-play title for both PC and consoles. The title was actually announced last year by Leyou-owned Antholon Games. At the time, Antholon was said to be working on an unnamed, quote-unquote, working with an unnamed, quote-unquote, partner developer, which has revealed today to be Amazon Game Studios. According to Antholon's announcement last fall, the new MMO is set, quote, at a long time before the events of Lord of the Rings, exploring lands, people, and creatures never seen before by the fans of the Tolkien universe. That may sound similar to Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings TV series, which is also said to be set in Middle-earth long before Tolkien's main series. According to Amazon, the show and the game are being developed separately and are unrelated projects. Between Amazon and Leyou, there's a considerable amount of previous MMO experience. Leyou owns Warframe, developer Digital Extremes, and Amazon Game Studios is already deep in development process for its first MMO, New World, which should help assuage, what the fuck is that word? I've never seen this word before in my fucking life.
Assuage.
Assuage! That's how you pronounce that?
Assuage.
Uh-huh.
Assuage.
What does it mean?
Make an unpleasant feeling less intense. Or to satisfy. Hold on. Let me hear that one more time.
Assuage.
Assuage. Okay. Alright. Let me redo that. Is already deep in development process for its first MMO, New World, which should help assuage fears that a beloved IP is being handled by relative newcomers. It won't be the first MMO. Lord of the Rings Online has been around since 2007, offering players a new adventure to play alongside the events of the trilogy during the War of the Ring, with the most recent update released in October 2018. An MMO that released in 2007 still got an update in 2018. That's insane. Holy fuck. There are no details yet regarding when Amazon expects to release it, or on which consoles it'll be available, but we're expecting to get more details as development continues. Fuck. There you have it. Lord of the Rings is getting an MMO. Are you excited, Brett?
Not particularly. Mainly, like I love Lord of the Rings. It's by far one of my favorite series in existence. But the fact that they're making it an MMO takes away from the majority of that to me.
Really?
Yeah, MMOs have never really been my thing. Yeah, I mean, for example, like I don't know. I've just never been able to get into them in general.
Hmm.
I mean, the longest I ever managed to stay interested in one was like 3 months, and then I just never played it again.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's classified as one, but Warframe is kind of an MMO.
I mean, to an extent, yes. But then when you go into a mission, it's for people only.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just gonna look this up real quick. What genre is war? Because I actually want to know. I didn't know. Okay, it's considered an action role-playing game. Okay, so it's not an MMO, but it has a lot of MMO elements in it. Damn. There you go. Lord of the Rings MMO. Jesus God. Yeah, no, I haven't had good experiences with MMOs either. The only MMO that I really like actually got into for a little while was Final Fantasy, whatever the newest one was. I think it's 14 or 15. I don't remember. Whatever the newest one was, not 11. I know that I think 11 was an MMO, but not 11. But the next MMO after that. I know that was fucking a game that I was into for a little bit, but I found out that then you have to pay for it. I played it free for like a few months, and then the game suddenly hit me with, you have 5 more days to play this game for free until you have to start paying, and I'm like, okay, fuck you. So, stop playing it, but... Oh, and Terra, but Terra wasn't great, I'm not gonna lie. Game was kind of booty. Oh, and Brett lagged out of the party again. Well, Brett lagged out of the party, so I guess I'm gonna end the podcast here because my stopwatch says 37 minutes. So, sorry that Brett lagged out. I'll tell him when he joins back, but just letting y'all know there was no hashtags this week. So please make sure, and I'll have it pop up on screen for this episode here at the end, make sure you use hashtag BnB Ben and Brett to give your input on topics and your opinions and your 2 cents and all that stuff. And we'll read it off in the next episode along with like an on-screen picture of your tweet. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And oh, hey, here's Brett. Hey Brett.
Hey, hello.
You're just in time for the outro. I was just gonna end it because we're like at the end. I have like no more topics, but I'll repeat what I just said for you real quick. We have no hashtag shit on Twitter, but that's not a surprise. So I'm just reminding everyone that if you want to add your 2 cents or if you want to add your 2 cents on a topic or suggest a topic for us to talk about for a couple of minutes on the podcast, make sure that you use the hashtag Ben and Brett on Twitter so you can have your stuff featured on the podcast. And by featured, I mean you'll even get like a screen, like a little picture of your tweet up on the screen, ready to go. It's kind of like a shout out for your Twitter. So there you go. Or you can leave a comment.
All you gotta do is talk to us.
Yeah, or you can leave a comment on the podcast videos and you will also be addressed. So if you don't have a YouTube account for whatever reason, A, what's wrong with you? B,
how are you watching this?
Well, you can watch it technically without a YouTube account. But
I mean, I guess.
So if you can leave a comment, if you leave a comment with a topic or a comment about a topic, then it'll be featured in picture on the podcast. Or if you tweet using hashtag BnB Ben and Brett, it will also be featured with a picture. So thank you all so much for watching. I have been your co-host Ben,
and I am your other co-host Brett,
and we will see you all in the next activity. Bye-bye.